of an ACE portal account, creating new users, uploading an ADCVD non-reimbursement statement, running reports, and searching ADCVD case information. We will be holding off on questions until after the presentation. Feel free to raise your hand or send questions in at any time, and they will be read afterwards. Now I will turn it over to Billy to get started.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us this afternoon for this ACE Portal webinar. The link to the ACE Portal account application was included in the PowerPoint presentation that was emailed to you yesterday afternoon. Section A is the account information, where you will list the name of your company, your account's fiscal year-end date, the company officer, title of the company officer, your organizational structure, and the officer's date of birth or another valid date. You'll also list the business activity that you will conduct with CBP. This would be an importer, a broker, a self-filer, or a surety. If you choose more than one, you must designate which one will have the primary view. The remaining sections under 8 you can skip because they will not apply to you. These sections are for service providers only. Section B is the account owner designation. This is the individual that will be responsible for the daily administration of the account's portal activities. If the account owner is an individual, you only have to complete Part 1. If the account owner is a legal entity, you must complete Part 2 and Section C. Section C is the point of contact for the account. This will be the trade account owner for the account. And Section D is the authorization and acknowledgement. The account owner and the company officer must sign in this section. You must click on both electronic signature boxes to indicate the authorization/approval of the information contained in the document. To select a box, you'll click in the box to the left of the statement, and this will act as your electronic signature. At the end of the application, there's a link for you to submit the application by email. Once the application has been approved, the trade account owner will receive 2 emails. One email is a system-generated message containing a link to retrieve your temporary password, and the second email will be sent by an ACE account administrator, which contains the shared secret for the trade account owner. You will receive both emails. You will need both emails to access the password retrieval link. On the Retrieve Password page, you will be asked to enter your shared secret. If you are a trade account user, your user ID is your shared secret. If you're the trade account owner, this was provided in the email from the ACE administrator. After you select the Submit button, you will be directed to the password retrieval page. Once you have your temporary password, you are ready to log into the ACE portal at www.cbp.dhs.gov. You'll enter your user ID and temporary password and click the Login button. You will be directed to set a new password when you log in for the first time. Your password must meet the password criteria, which is at least 12 characters, which includes 1 uppercase, 1 lowercase, 1 numeric, and 1 special character. You will be asked to enter your new password twice and then select Continue. A message will appear stating the web page you're viewing is trying to close the window. Do you want to close the window? Select Yes, and this will cause that browser session to automatically close. Every 45 days, the ACE portal passwords are set to be changed. When the password expires, the user will be prompted to reset the password. The steps for resetting a password are the same as setting a new password. A user can change their password at any time during the 45-day period by clicking the Tools tab. You will select User Account Administration, select Change Password. You will enter the old password and then enter a new password and confirm the new password. Select the Change Password button and you will receive a message confirming that your password has been changed. If you try to log in 3 times in the same browser, your account will be locked and you will need to contact your trade account owner to have your password reset. If you're the trade account owner and your account gets locked, you will need to contact the ACE Help Desk and you will need your shared secret when you contact them. They will ask you for this. Next, we will review how to create a new user. Only a trade account owner or a proxy trade account owner can add new users and assign access permissions. You do this by selecting the Tools tab, select User Access, located under the User Administration, and then in the right portal, select Create New User. An ACE user ID is specific to a person and not a company. If someone was set up with an ACE user ID at another company, you would select Add Existing User and select Continue. You would complete the information for the user. Everything that's required is indicated with an asterisk. So you would have to enter their first name, their last name, their date of birth, their country, the name of the company, the address, city, state, and zip, a phone number, and a valid email for the user that you're setting up, so they can be emailed with the link to retrieve their password. Then you will select what type of their role will be, if they're a proxy trade account owner or a trade account user, and whether or not to grant them access to the top account, and select Continue. You will receive a message if the address does not conform to the USPS format. You'll receive a message that it has been standardized. If the address is not recognized by the USPS, you will receive a message such as invalid postal code, do you mean 22082-2872? If the error is valid, make the correction and select Save and Continue again. If the address is correct, check the Use Address as Entered box and select Save and Continue again. Next, you will be taken to the page where you will grant the user access. You can give them read-only access for all or full access for all. Once you've granted the access, you can edit the user's access by clicking the Edit Broker Permissions, and this will bring the entire list of functions up, and then you can select individually which type of access you want them to have. And lastly, we will be talking about how to upload non-reimbursement statements into the ACE portal. You will click on the Accounts tab, and under the account type, you will select Importer, and then you will select Declarations under the Select task, and then Portal Account underneath the Declarations. In the right portal, you will select Create, and select your declaration type, non-reimbursement blanket statement. You will input your IRS, the date the statement is valid from, the date the statement is valid to. You skip the ruling. It's very rare that we have this. you enter the case number, and you can enter a maximum of case numbers that are separated by commas. Next, you will enter the MID, and you can have a maximum of 50 MIDs separated by a comma. If you're not sure of the MID, you can get this from your 7501 or request it from your broker. The HTS, it's not mandatory. You can input up to 50 HTS numbers separated by a comma, and the comments are not mandatory either. At the bottom, you will click the ADCVD non-reimbursement statement box, and then click Continue. This will take you to the screen so that you can upload the actual non-reimbursement statement. You'll click Browse to find your attachment, and then click Attach File. You can click the View Attachment to ensure you have the correct one. If you chose the incorrect one, you can click Remove. That will remove it, and then browse again. Click the Continue button, and it takes you to the review page where you can review the information to ensure it's correct. If it's correct, you click the Submit button. And you will receive a declaration confirmation number. On that screen, you can review the case information, the manufacturers, the HTS number, and the attachments. If any of the information is not correct, you can click the Cancel Declaration button. It will cancel the declaration, but it will not remove it from your list of non-reimbursement statements that have been uploaded. And then you can go back and start at the beginning again. At this time, I will turn it over to Patricia that will review running reports.
Okay, thank you, Billy. Patricia here, and I'll be presenting how to run ACE reports. ACE reports are a great tool to analyze global trade risks and performance, and running reports should be part of your compliance program. You can access many standards reports on company-specific compliance, transactional, and financial data from ACE. You can also customize and design reports to fit your business needs. So you can source, add, or remove data, save personalized formatted reports as templates so that data can be easily recompiled, schedule reports to run automatically at the date, time, and frequency that you may want. So through ACE reports, what do you get? Visibility to cargo release and entry summary data. This is refreshed nightly. The ability to identify unauthorized filers. For instance, if you work with different brokers, if you see somebody that is not in your customs broker, you're able to see through this report. The ability to proactively monitor trade compliance and identify discrepancies. Monitor your statements. Monitor also anti-dumping cases, anti-dumping and countervailing cases. And also keep in mind that any element that is in ACE will become available in ACE reporting. Accessing the reports. You go to your select accounts, and you're gonna, in the select account type, you're gonna select importer, select, and then you're gonna have reports, select reports under task, and launch tools. You're gonna bring you to the reports homepage. In this report homepage, you're gonna see all the different, you can see just all the different things, and you're gonna click an importer, the workspace importer. Here you see AC reports. You have available workspace, importers. You also have ability here to create a report. This is something we're not going to be covering today. And also in this page, you'll be able to see the training resources. You can click in this third tab there, and you have some videos that a CDC put in place. Once you click on the importer, it's going to bring to the reports homepage, where you're going to have different scenarios, where you're going to have card release, entry summary, statements, and references where you can access the HDS. In our case here, we're going to see the entry summary, where you see the different reports available on ACE. They are also called CAN reports. You're going to select so the CAN reports, they all based on the 7501. The AM reports are based on ACS data, and ESM reports are based on ACE data. Okay, most common reports that are run on ACE. We have the AM 100, which is the courtesy notice of liquidation. These reports provide information for entry summary that are scheduled to liquidate. We should be checking this like weekly. ESM 7001, entry summary, census warning, and override. These reports provide detailed information on census warnings related to an entry. If there's any discrepancy with value or quantity, this report is going to provide information. CS 28, 29, 47, this is something that it should be scheduled in your agenda to run weekly. Entry summary line tariff details. You have this information by HTS. You can sort by any HTS that you have in your system. Protest details, that you can see the status, if it's open, denied, void denied. In ADCVD, entry summary liquidation, we got to check because, as we know, ADCVD may take years to liquidate and liquidate in higher value or lower value. So keep that in your tab. So running the report. First of all, don't be intimidated running the report. You may see a lot of prompts there, but play with them. That's the key. If you don't get it the first time, try again. If you don't get it the third time, call Shapiro. We'll be happy to help. So running the report, complete the prompt box. You can search for data, the date. You have the calendar there with the date. The right side is the year, left side is the month. You can refresh the information that, let me see. Okay, you can refresh any information to see the information available. If you see refresh values, you may bring some, the broker code that you work, a list of broker codes that you work. If you just work with Shapiro, it's gonna show just 655. And the key is to add all this information in this tab. The green tabs are, go back. The green check means that you're ready to run the report, and you can change the parameters to filter data. Different prompts for different reports, okay? So for instance, we're gonna run the notice of liquidation. In your entry summary tab, you're gonna select the report, double click in AM 100, click on, under available workspace, available workspace, select importer, and choose tab entry summary. And then once you fill out all the tabs, you're gonna see the information, the report. You're gonna run the report, and it's gonna bring your report. Here you're gonna see the entries number. If you have any kind of information that you check the entry number, the date of data, the entry, entry type code, the liquidation date, the amount of duty, and the liquidation of duty. So if there is no change, it's going to be in this column here with no change. If for some reason there is a change, you're going to see a change in the liquidation status. You can modify this report. But before you modify any report, you always have to save it first in your favor folder. To do this, you're going to hit save as, and it's going to open a window with your favorite folders. You're going to rename the file and save. Once you have done that, you're able to run your report. Well, once you have modified the report, you're going to access design. And then you're going to click on data access and edit. And you're going to bring a different parameters for your reports. You're going to see under the account management, you have different tabs. You're going to select entry report. And you're going to look for, in this case, we're going to look for the PSC indicator. Or if you don't find, you may type the PSC indicator there. And you're going to drag this PSC indicator to the results object. And you're going to run the query again. And once you run the query and you have your report, you're going to click in the select object and you're going to see the PSC indicator, and you're going to drag this PSC indicator between the columns and put in there. And if you have any PSC, any entries with PSC, it's going to show the information in this report. Okay? Another thing that with ACE reports, you can schedule a report. And this is very cool in terms of to check information, to make sure you comply. So you can have you schedule report. You got to save in my favorite folder, and you go to documents. You select more actions. Under documents, select more actions, and you're going to click in schedule report. And here you're going to have different parameters. The first one, you're going to select the report title. How often do you want this report? If you're going to click, you're going to have weekly, monthly, any day of the week, the time you want to do that. In prompts, you're going to see all the parameters available. You can modify if you want. All the different parameters for the report. In format, you select any type, if you want an Excel, if you want a PDF, the type of letters that you want us running in events, if you have any event scheduled for this kind of report. And you also have trigger any available schedule events. That's why you see in this report. And you have the destination where you have all the emails that is going to be listed to receive. You can put as many emails as you want in the message when you receive this report. One other report that you can run on ACE is the protest details. Under the accounts tab, you're going to select protest filer, hit go, and you're going to launch report. And it's going to bring to the workspace where you're going to see protest filer. Again, you're going to see the different parameters that you have to select in order to get your report. You gotta go to protest details, and you'll be able to see different parameters. You can select if you know the CE that is assigned for your entry, or the protest styles, all the protests open or denied, void denied. You can check in this protest detail. Now Maurice is going to continue with the presentation with ADCVD case list. Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia. Another report we're going to talk about is the ES-105 ADCVD active case list. This is a report used to provide high-level information for active cases. It remains up to date and is meant to replace active AD/CVD previously posted cases. This information is available to CBP officials, certain government agencies, brokers, and importers that have access to the portal. In order for you to get to this portal, you will open the importer available workspaces. From there, you go to the entry summary tab. You will see subtabs below that state entry summary, ADCVD new, liquidation, and reconciliation. Once you select ADCVD, you will see the report appear in your navigation list. Click on the title to open the report. In order to run this report, you will need to identify the parameters. They will automatically set to active case status, all country of origin, all related HTS numbers, any case number, and any current suspend entry summary. You can adjust any of the parameters for a specific grouping. Once you run the report, you will see a summary bar on the left side. The general headings that appear are the case number, the short description, country of origin, related HTS, exporter and manufacturer names, rate effective date, rate, suspend entry summary indicator, and suspend effective date. As Patricia previously mentioned, you can modify any of these headers to show additional information. You will also be able to export the data by clicking on the icon at the top. It will give you multiple options on how you would like to export this information, such as Excel or PDF. You are able to adjust the parameters on the second tab as well. Another ADCVD report you can run is the ES-109 ADCVD entry summary for liquidation. This is to gather information on unliquidated ADCVD entry summaries or liquidated entry summaries. To access this, you will select your broker under Available Workspaces, go to your Entry Summary tab, select ADCVD subtab, and then select a specific report. These parameters are a little different. There's a lot more. These parameters are all the same, but you will see that the headings are more specific. They include entry number, port of entry, importer number, filer code and name, trade line item ID, HTS, entry line AD case number, ADD paid amount, entry line CV case number, CVD paid amount, liquidation date, and status. So this is a good report to run to keep your status. If you decide you don't want to run an ADCVD report, you'll be able to do a case search. In this case, you will go back to your home dashboard, select References, choose ADCVD Case Search, and then you must enter at least 2 parameters, which can include case number, country, HTS, party name, company status, or short description. The ADCVD Case Search will come up with the case number, status, if it's active or inactive, relevant case number, indicator if there are any related cases, short description, country of origin, and party name or manufacturer. You are able to change the order by clicking these small arrows on the side, or you can change the page number with the arrows at the bottom. From there, you will have your company details for your case search. The company details has 7 tabs. The rate tab, which will show the effective date and deposit rate. The event is the milestones, like your investigation and preliminary. Bond and cash identifies if CBP will accept a bond or cash amount for payment. AR breaks out the administrative review period for the case. Parties state the specific manufacturers and/or exporters that are associated. Your HTS will list the HTSs available. Finally, you have the suspended entry summary, which is the list of the suspended entry summary indicators. You are able to print this information. There are a few quick links to mention on the left-hand side. If you want to go back to your original case search page, you can simply click the ADCVD case search button. That will bring you back to your original search information. Company details will take you to the previous screen with the specific case information. The option for messages on the left side will bring up any messages associated with the current ADCVD case search. If you decide you want to search specifically by the ADCVD case search, message search, you can start with the ADCVD message search in the reference section of your dashboard. You will need to identify at least two of the parameters, like message number, party ID, or case number, and then click search. Once you enter your parameters and search, your specific message details will appear. The message header will quickly show the general information, like case number, period dates, and effective dates. The message body will show below with the specific information, and the parties associated will be listed in the Companies tab besides the message body. Moving on to accessing CF 2829 and 4647, you will first need to identify your mode of communication with CBP. To find out, go to your Accounts tab and select Import as your account type. From there, you will select Mode of Communication. You can do so by going to the Importer type account type and selecting Mode of Communication under the Accounts tab. The information here will show how you and your company receive and respond to CBP forms. The default option will be Mail for U.S. Postal Service, but you can always change that to Portal. In order to use the portal to access the documents, authority must be given by the trade account owner in order to do so. To view the CF 2829 or 4647, once you have access to the forms in the portal is set as your communication, you can view them on your home screen under the task list bar. You can view by PDF or search for the specific CF 2829. In order to search for a specific CF 2829, you must enter at least two of the parameters like form type, IOR number, or entry summary number. All forms that require a response or have new information available will be shown on your default list. If it has been responded to previously, the CF 2829 will be removed from the default list. If you want a quick view of all of your CBP forms that have not been responded to yet, you can select the Forms subtab under your task list. If you select a specific action number, you will be able to see some more subtabs. They will include trade information, ES lines, CBP attachments, and trade attachments, which is where you will review a response. To respond to a CF 2829, the user must have full access granted by the trade account owner. You would select the action number and go to the Trade Information subtab. From there, the items indicated as required fields must be entered in order to be submitted. To add attachments, you will do so under Trade Attachments. Once back at Trade Information, you will have the option to save as a draft or send directly to CBP. You will be able to see the status change from sent to closed once CBP reviews and requires no additional information. When closed status is achieved, it will be removed automatically from your default list. In order to respond to a CF 4647, you will see Section 3 subtab, which is where the information will be entered to show what type of action is being taken. The ES lines indicate the specific entry summary lines associated with this CF 4647. CBP attachments is the PDF copy. Trade attachments is where you can upload supporting documentation. And Section 4 is where the Customs Officer will sign off. When Section 3 is completed, the status will automatically change to responses received. Once CBP Officer completes Section 4, the status will automatically change to closed.